Hey guys, did you know there are certain phrases that a man can say to a woman that will make her melt? Yes, even if you've just met her. So whether you've just met her or you've been together for a while, these are the phrases that turn women on. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. Welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday. Now, the first thing is that these are not pickup lines that will land you a one-night relationship. However, they can influence and affect that goal, if that's your goal, and make you stand out from other men who are not using these phrases. But if you are looking for a keeper and want the one that you can settle down with without settling, then these are definitely phrases you're going to want to keep in your toolkit. But the key is knowing when to use them and when to tuck them away for later use, or when to definitely not use them. So let's get into the phrases, and then I'm going to share with you when not to use them. 1, I got this, babe, or bae, baby, pet name, depending on your generation and where you're at in your relationship. So when you say, I got this, babe, that lets her know that you're taking care of her. And an example of this can be big or small. It can be paying for something, paying for a coffee. I got this, babe. Or it can be dealing with a plumber. I got this, babe. So she doesn't have to deal with something that is less pleasant. And it also shows leadership and confidence. Number 2, very similar phrase that you can use is, I'll take care of it. And again, this can be used when buying something or dealing with an unpleasant situation or just handling something that she's maybe really too tired to do, like laundry, or if you can see that she's frustrated because the trash is full and she's now taking it out, you go over and take that trash and say, I'll take care of it. She will take note, trust me. Now, this especially works if she is trying to take care of the thing herself, but you know she really doesn't want to, but she's trying to suck it up because of feminism, or maybe because she doesn't want to nag you, or maybe because she thinks she should just do it herself. Whenever you step up and help her out when she's doing something she really doesn't want to be doing, but she's doing it anyway, maybe to save you, or maybe to save the relationship, or maybe because she just wants it done. If you say, I'll take care of this, then she's really going to appreciate that. Maybe not in that moment. If she's got resentment because you haven't done this thing that she had hoped you'd want to do, she might be like, oh, finally. But just let her have her frustration. Stay cool, calm, collected. Do your thing. Don't be resentful because she's resentful. And just know that it is stored in her psyche that she is appreciative of that. If you've just met her, again, saying, I'll take care of it, could be getting into a restaurant, or finding a seat, or finding a place for her coat, or any little thing that you can help her with that shows her that you're taking care of her and taking charge will definitely make her want you more than if you don't do that. 3, you got this, babe. So if you say, you got this, babe, it shows encouragement, it shows that you support her, it shows that you believe in her skills and abilities. So if she is wavering on going back to school because she doesn't think she can handle it, or asking for a promotion, or changing careers, or let's say if you have just met a woman and you don't know her very well, and essentially you can get into a conversation with her and find out what things she might be struggling with, what challenges is she looking at. But it allows you to find out where her insecurities are and either exploit them or encourage her to overcome them. So just find out what she's struggling with, and then you can say, you got this. From what I know of you already, I can tell you got this. So you don't say babe or anything like that because you don't know her well enough to give her an intimate label. 4, you are so beautiful. Okay, now, I know I've said in other videos that you shouldn't compliment a woman on her physical looks, especially if she's really beautiful. Now, if you haven't watched that video, then you're definitely going to want to watch that video. I will link it at the end, how to compliment women. But essentially, once you've actually already established a bit of a relationship with a woman, you can say, and you should say, you are so beautiful. The best time to say you are so beautiful is first thing in the morning when she's got no makeup on and she hasn't even tried. Or she's just got out of the shower and she's got no makeup on, if you're actually in a relationship or, have gotten that far down the road. If you don't know her very well, then you might say that to her when she's on a day where she's not necessarily looking her best, because then it's not just about what she puts on externally, whether it's makeup, hair, clothes, to garner your approval of her looks, basically. Now, if you do know her or have known her for a little while, maybe you're even in the friend zone, or maybe you've been with her for a while, then the other time where you're going to say you look so beautiful is when she clearly has made an extra effort to look extra good that day. So for some reason, she's looking better because she's put in extra effort because she's going for a job interview, or because you're going out on a date, or something like that, then yes, she does want to know that you think she's so beautiful. And especially if you've been with her for a while, she's going to want to know that you're still attracted to her, because all women understand that physical attraction can wane over time and men notice looks more. So she's going to want to know that you're still attracted to her over time. And depending on the girl, it might be a month later, it might be 10 years later, where you're going to want to continue to use this. This is in your toolbox. You need to use your relationship toolbox to keep the maintenance of the relationship from the very beginning to the very end in fine attunement. 5, again, along the same lines, is you look extra beautiful or extra sexy today. And you can use this again with someone that you are flirting with, that you already know is accepting of the mutual flirt, or even of your flirt where you're trying to gain her as your girlfriend. Maybe you're just courting, or maybe you're dating. And if you're in a relationship, this also applies. So when you say you look extra beautiful, you're implying she always looks beautiful, but today she looks extra beautiful or sexy. And again, this makes her feel special. 6, one more in the beautiful category. You can also say, especially if you've been together for a while and or you've gone through some difficulties and now you're on the other side. Now, keep in mind, there are some times you're not going to say these phrases that are really inappropriate and will have the reverse effect. They will be a turn off, and I will share that with you in a little bit here. So, but first of all, the next beautiful phrase that you can use on a woman sincerely is, how do you just keep getting more beautiful all the time, or every year, or every day, or whatever it is. So if you've been with a girl for a little bit of time, whether it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 6 years, 10 years, whatever, 6 years, you want to continue to say that you're attracted to her by showing her, by telling her that she's beautiful, because women really know that men are attracted to beauty. And actually, side note here, studies show that men of all ages when they look at photos of women, the average age that men find attractive is 21. That's whether the man is 20 or 60, whereas women actually find men closer to their own age attractive when they've done these studies. So it really is true, you guys. I mean, it's just biology. It's not a bad thing, it's just biology. But we all know this instinctively, and women really know it. So that, especially if a woman has been with you for a while, she wants to be reassured that you're still attracted to her physical beauty. 7, hello, my love. So when you say hello, my love, or if you're not actually with her in a relationship, you might say hello, beautiful, or hello, lovely. If you're in a relationship, you're basically claiming possession of her. This may ruffle a few feathers, especially with women, but if you've ever been in a relationship and your man has said hello, my love, or the next one that I'm going to share with you, this will give her butterflies. This will give her butterflies like the first times she kissed you or you kissed her. Especially if you're saying it in a setting I'm going to describe in a moment, then you are essentially announcing to the world you are off the market and she's your girl. So while a man needs respect and to be desired, to be respected and desired, a woman needs to feel loved and cherished. So one of the ways you can make her feel loved and cherished is by making these kinds of subtle public declarations, especially if she's with a group of her girlfriends, and especially if she's with a group of women and any of them are attractive. So if you walk up to her in a group setting and said, hello, my love, then she is going to be like, he just claimed me. That means you can't have him. So that's the internal unconscious dialogue that's going on in her mind, and more importantly in her body, when you say something like that, when you claim her in front of other women. Now, when you don't want to do this, and I'll give you 3 examples at the end of when you never want to use these, but you may not want to use this if she's in a group of men. Maybe she's talking to a group of colleagues or friends, and you grow up and say, "Hello, my love," then that may be interpreted as you being insecure and needing to claim her in front of those other men. Now, depending on the woman and your relationship, that may be a turn on or it may be a turn off. So that one is something that you're going to have to navigate in your particular relationship if and when you get to that stage. If you don't know her, you can still walk up to the woman that you're interested in, and if she's in a group setting, whether it's men or women, and say, "Hello, beautiful," or "Hello, lovely." Or if you're not at that stage of comfort level of communication with that girl, then you might want to say, "Hello, lovely Ashley." Or, that way, if you're not certain that she's reciprocating her feelings towards you, then you're not going to put her in an awkward situation where she's going to have to say, "Yeah, no, I'm not. Maybe you can just call me Ashley," right? So you want to at least know that there might be a bit of interest from her. Now, if there is interest and you walk up to her and say, "Hello, lovely Ashley," then again, especially if she's in a group with women, then she's going to feel singled out and special, and that'll make her feel good because you're not saying that to the other women. And again, the next one is very similar to that. You might say, "Hello, my woman." Now, of course, this is when you're either dating or in a relationship, because if you claim her when you're not, then that's going to most likely look insecure. But if you claim her when you're in a relationship, again, especially if she's with other women that are attractive, then she's going to feel special, cherished. So now let's look at when not to use these phrases, when never to use these phrases, or they will backfire. And then I'm going to give you one extra juicy tip for how to use these phrases that will ramp up their effectiveness. When not to use. Never use these phrases when there's something in it for you. If you use these phrases when there's something in it for you, when you're trying to get something, then it's going to come off as insincere and manipulative, because that's what it actually is. So never use them if you are in trouble, if you're in the doghouse for some reason and you're looking for forgiveness, because that's what it's going to be taken for. She's not going to trust you in future using these phrases because she'll automatically associate them with you trying to win over her forgiveness. Unless it's something very, very small and you totally exaggerate it. And I'll give you that example in just a minute. The second time that you're never going to use these phrases is if you actually want something from her, whether you want a favor or you're going to be asking for something that, is going to be contentious, or that she's not going to want to give you, or like nookie, or maybe you want to go on a bachelor party to Vegas when the Maxim 100 swimsuit models are there, or something that, she's not going to be happy about. So don't use these phrases when you're trying to get something. Where you might be able to get away with it is if it's something relatively small. Now you have to gauge, because in this example, it depends on whether or not she's really insecure or not insecure, or jealous or not jealous. Now, if that's the case, then you might want to watch my red flags video, because that's in there. But the example is, she says to you, you're in a restaurant, she's like, "Did you just check out that waitress?" And maybe she's not really mad about it, but she's kind of like catching you. And so if that's the case and she's not really actually upset about it, but she is calling you out on it, which means she doesn't really want you doing that, but you're not going to be in big trouble, that's when you can use the "you're so beautiful" or one of these phrases that will exaggerate your sort of request for forgiveness. By saying something like, "No way, I did not check out that brunette in a tight red sweater because you are so beautiful." So, it's obvious you did check out the chick because you've logged enough details to prove it, but at the same time, you were telling your woman that she is so beautiful, or she's the only beautiful, or whatever it is. So you're using it in an exaggerative way because you can get away with it, because that's where your relationship is, and that's safe for you to do with your girlfriend. Now, if she's really insecure, that's a different story. Those are things you need to watch out for, and that's a whole other video. But do watch my red flags video if you have experienced jealousy. Okay, juicy tip. The bonus juicy tip that will make her swoon and send shivers from her head all the way down to her toes is if you use a slow, deep, sexy voice, and if you say it either within close proximity to her, where you would be within her intimate bubble, close enough to kiss, or right by her ear. The reverberation of your voice is going to literally have a visceral reaction through her whole body. And if there are other people within proximity that she would be pleased for them to hear what you're saying, like other women, then you do still want to say it loud enough, just loud enough that it's a personal, intimate conversation that other people can hear. So you're claiming her, you're calling her beautiful, whatever it might be, it's close to her, it's a little bit inappropriate to say in the presence of other people, but at the same time, it turns her on physically, but also mentally and emotionally. So, if you want to know the character traits that all women love and that turn women on, that any man can develop, then you definitely want to check out my What Makes a Real Man to Her video series. Bam!